What is up, everybody? Give me just a moment here. You know the drill. You know the drill. Need that green light, and then we will be good to go here. Come on. Any day now. There we go. All right, guys, I want to show you the trades from today's session. What is today? It's right here. 7/11/2019. So, yeah. July 11th, 2019. Took 8 trades, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 trades, 3 were winners. And the rest were break-evens. Which is kind of cool, I guess. I don't know how you look at it. But I tried to average it out to see what my win ratio was. And it's obviously out of 8 trades, only 3 were winners. So, I mean, it's definitely less than 50% win rate. I used some average calculator. I'm not the best at math, but I believe my win rate was 37%. So this proves to you that you can make money with a less than 51% win ratio. Just make sure you're cutting the losses. And obviously, I cut several potential losses with all these break-evens and came out with $125 for the day. I'm going to show you, obviously, I'm going to show you these 3 winners. I'm going to show you some of the break-evens in between and why I decided to do that, because I think that's important for you guys to understand break-evens. I know they're not spectacular, but you need to understand how to do what you're seeing here. I mean, obviously, if I don't take break-even trades for the hell of it. I take them because I think I have a shot at making money, but I don't want a loser. So that's why I take quite a few break-evens. And then there's a trade for the previous day. It's one trade that yielded me 125. I'm going to show you that trade from yesterday. But there's a reason I'm showing it to you, because the same sort of pattern plays out, and I want you to familiarize yourself with this particular pattern I see in the ES. Happen all the time, actually, and it's taken me a while to really figure it out, and now I understand it. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to move this out of the way. So what's going to happen here is I want to give you some context of what's going on. So we had been trading around the 3,000, and I just turned the computer on right where you see these bars start. So everything over here is from yesterday's session on the 10th. So what you're seeing here is I had just turned the computer on, but I had taken a look at the chart to see what was kind of going on all day. We had been chopping around up in the 3,000 range, and now 3,000 is getting rejected, which I find pretty funny. It's been rejected several times. I mean, we'll get over it a little bit, but then it continues to have these, what seems to be these hard sell-offs. So as you can see, there's an absolute meltdown right here. Shortly after I turned the computer on. And what I did here was, on the depth of market, I marked out where the price was bouncing around. So if you look at the R's here, you can see it was bouncing around right here. And then it was bouncing right here at the 98.25 level. So the 98.25 started acting as resistance, and 97.25 was acting support. You did have this 510 below it to sort of hold it up. But for the most part, it wasn't trading into that 97 even level. It was bouncing off the 97.25. So I'm going to show you what happened. You're about to see some interesting price action. In fact, this entire series of trades for this day that yielded me 125, it was very interesting price action. Quite frankly, I enjoyed it, but it was definitely something else. So you'll see here. So we're just kind of chopping around in here. And did you see that? How the market just absolutely melted down. It just collapsed so quickly that there were no clues that were that was gonna happen. Okay. And the sell-off up here was pretty furious too. So let's watch that again. So it's just gonna collapse out of nowhere. So, and then it immediately comes back to where it was. So you see my mouse is moving up here. Why is my mouse moving up here? Why am I deciding that this to take a possible entry here? And I'm definitely short biased because ultimately I do realize that this is a falling knife, okay? What's the old saying go? Don't catch a falling knife if the market's melting down, and don't step in front of a train if it's trending up. So I'm not going to attempt to fade this and go long on it. There's a time and place where you can play both longs and shorts, and just sort of alternate them. But right now, with the market sentiment being short biased and the way it just selling off, I'm only going to try to position myself in shorts at this point because I don't want to get ran over for a massive loss. As you can see, that move was quite a bit. You could lose quite a bit of money off of that. So I'm going to go short here. Notice that this at 97, it's now at 8.99. Okay, it wasn't as big, but now it's at 8.99. But the thing is, I'm still short biased despite the fact that this is here. And this size only showed up right when we got to it. As you can see it on the heat map, the size only started to show up at 97 even right when we got to it. So it's not quite as valid for me, in my opinion, to be like an actual legit support zone. And also, somebody could be placing a fake order here to sort of temporarily hold the market up so they can put in thousands of contracts for a short, and then they may cancel that off. So what I'm doing is I'm looking to get short here. Very, very careful about my moves, by the way. And the clue to get short was obviously that rapid drop down, and then we came back up. Okay? Usually if you see a rapid move to one direction where it just seems like the floor fell out, in this example, I mean, that's kind of a clue that it's probably going to go in that direction. So I set the order there, but I canceled it off because I somewhat started to lose confidence. I'm not quite 100% sure what to do. So I decided, you know what, I'll just get back in it. Actually, you know what, I didn't cancel the order on purpose. What happened was I had reprogrammed my hotkeys. So developing the muscle memory of what I need to click on, still practicing that. So my clear market order button and my clear the limit, let me rephrase what I'm saying. You'll notice that I clear market orders in the center here, in the center columns, to get a fresh view of what's going on. Well, that button's been moved, and now it's next to my clear my position in the queue button. So those two buttons are right next to each other, so I got confused and hit the wrong one. So I'll show you. So I do get in here, and I specifically remember why. So I try to clear out all this shit right here. End up clearing myself out of the queue instead. So I hit the wrong button. Get back in it, then I hit the right button and clear out the market orders. So what I'm doing is I know that the price bounces off this 98.25 level where the R is. So I'm going to go ahead and position myself right around here to hopefully get the fill. Now, it may seem kind of hard to get the fill because it's 299 versus 165, but I'm going to hold steady and just sort of see what happens. at this point, and you can see the mouse is covering for a break even only in case I get the fill and things start to go wrong. So I'm 251 in the queue. I'm really not too far ahead I'd like to be. Now it's 254 versus 239. Now it's 334 versus 256. Get the fill. It immediately clears through me, but it's okay. I still have confidence in 98.25 holding the market down at this point. Okay, now it's no longer holding the market down. That's not a good sign. Now it's gone against me quite a bit. Did I actually clear? How did I get out of that? Let's see how I got out of that order. I'm missing something here. It's at 251, 235. I cleared the order. That's what happened. I'm reviewing my trade for the first time. So disregard some of the shit I just told you. I ended up clearing the order because I noticed it went to 336 versus 253, and I'm like, okay, that's not good. I'm no longer confident. Good thing I cleared the order. So yeah, that was an order clear. Two of them, actually. One was a mistake. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I cleared the order here because it went to... yeah, let's watch that again. Yeah, so it's 250. Now it's 335 versus 250. I don't like that. I really don't like that. So I clear it out. That's exactly what happened. And I clear it out. Had about a second to spare. And it definitely would have gone against me quite a bit there. Yeah. Good thing I got the fuck out of that. So that was an intuition thing. But also the order flow kind of told me, I don't know about this. So the market's starting to stall here, and it looks like I'm going for another short. Yeah, it's coming back in. So I'm getting in right on this resistance zone. Well, it's not. I mean, it sort of is a resistance zone because we bounced off of it 2 times. So I'm attempting to get the fill here. Don't get the fill. Again, this is my first time reviewing it, so I'm not sure exactly where my entry is. Okay, I'm going back for the original entry that I had cleared out. Don't even get that. Now it's come back up to my original entry. Yeah. Now I get the fill. Now I'm in it. Clear out the market orders. Boom. Immediately look for profits there. So that was the first trade. That was $50. Obviously, I took a lot of swings today and took a lot of break-evens. Now, if you're taking a lot of break-evens with losing trades, I think it's time to turn off the computer or switch to sim, to be honest with you. Generally, I don't like to take 2 break-evens in a row like this. It just tells you that I'm sort of having a hard time finding the rhythm of the market. But then again, this particular price action was very hard to gauge. So my ultimate short bias was completely right. When I saw that initial meltdown, that's exactly why I got back into the trade. And what happens is I think they juke the market up just by a few ticks to sort of get some orders filled or maybe seek out some stop orders or what have you, and then they came back down. So let's watch that again. Yeah, so that's where I'm in the trade, and this is the $50 trade, and then I'll go over why I decided to exit. So obviously, let's see. Let me go back to where it kind of does that little break up. So yeah, I had just canceled the order here, which was a very good call. Now the market just sort of going up. But also, excuse me, I'm burping here. Notice there's a small point of control here at the 98.50, very small. Notice this volume node sticks out just ever so slightly. So we basically trade into it, and yes, 57 contracts do print above it a little bit, but then we ultimately come back into it. So this little area is going to sort of act as a resistant zone. For how long, you really don't know these things, but if you really look at the volume profile, it's not at all textbook. You have these weird high volume nodes, every other fucking area, and then you have some low volume nodes in there, and then it's just such a odd shape that the price is going to trade a little weird around it, that taking purely volume profile trades, I think, in this sort of setup is a lot more difficult. And when it starts to get difficult, I start to mark out these R's or whatever to sort of realize where the market's getting trapped at, and the market started to get trapped in this zone. And you can see that it's kind of built a somewhat nice looking volume profile here, or fair market value area. But again, this random volume node sticking out kind of makes the market trade a little funny. So it kind of shoots up. So I'm looking to get in it. I'm considering getting in. I'm just need to make sure the order flow confirms it. Okay, so, and also we have this 407 that's up here as well, and that's sort of confirming that I have this size here. Now, is it real? I don't know, but it kind of is a little bit of a sense of comfort. And again, I know there's this 954 down here, but we did have size here originally when we busted through it quite quickly and came back up originally. So I'm kind of discounting that size there. And I'm getting back in right at this area, or I'm attempting to get back in. So I'm short biased again. Even though it pulled up, I'm short biased again because it did fall back in relatively quickly here. So I'm not getting the fill here at the 98.25. There's just no way. So what I'm trying to do is, and also it's 125 versus 9. The buyers aren't even hitting this shit back. I mean, look, 155 versus 4. We got 83 versus 46. So buyers aren't really hitting back here enough to that getting a fill is going to be a little difficult. So now I decide to get back in where I originally was. Maybe I can get in here. Maybe the price will stall here. So I was trying to cover right here. The mouse was here trying to cover only in case I got the fill. Now the market's gone against me. And at this point, I was considering market ordering in, but at the same time, I'm like, I shouldn't do that because I really don't know what's going on in this particular zone. This is a very tricky area to play. So again, I'm coming back up here to cover only in case I get the fill and I need to get out. And also I have my finger on the cancellation button. I got my my left index finger on a cancellation button, and I got my left middle finger on the clear market order button, just to give you an idea of how my hotkeys are somewhat set up. So I get the fill there, but it immediately comes back down, which is good. Now I'm just hoping that this ass starts to pump up because it's 241 versus 96. It's gone up a little bit, and then bang! It's just like that. Just like that. So what's my key to get out? Now check this out. Check out the tape. This is something I didn't see because the tape moves so fast. I'm not really focused on the tape. I just think this is interesting to see. Very interesting to see. So at 97.75, 200. Look at all these block orders. They're all block orders. So at this price level, 97.75, 215 came in. So as you can see, 215 right here. So somebody intentionally cleared out the entire bid with 215. It seems like there may have been a little bit more there. And then at the next area at 97.50, 283 block order came in. So somebody, yeah, that's exactly what happened. So this could be high frequency trading. I'm not sure, because whatever did this pretty much cleared out these two price levels with very large orders. In fact, all four of these price levels were hit with consecutive large block orders. So we had the 215 come in right here on this block order. We had the 283 of block order come in at the next price down. Then 341 came down. So out of 345, 341 of that was a real order. So, you know, four of this is somebody else. And then out of this 1,044, 668 of that was all one order. So somebody blocked. That's what happened. So this could be high frequency trading. I'm not sure what it is, but I can definitely tell you that more than likely this was the doing of one man or one machine. I'm not sure. I'm speculating here. Essentially, I'm going over theory with you right now because I find it very interesting to see all these block orders come in at consecutive price rows, price levels. So that's very interesting to see what happened there. And I'm pretty sure if we pause it here at the other meltdown level, we may see something very similar to that. But I'm not going to do that because we got a lot to cover here. Sorry. So what's my criteria for getting out? And look, no buy market orders came in here at the 97.50. So somebody cleared out all that shit. I'm just kind of in like awe right now. So I didn't realize the market was gonna fucking push like that. That hardcore. I figured it would go back down, but I didn't think it was going to do that. So what my criteria to get out is where I see this 1,180. I know immediately that there is profit taking is potentially happening here, and that number sticks out so much that there's definitely some sort of absorption or some sort of struggle here. So what I do is I attempt to get the fill there, and I get it relatively quickly. I'm not sure where the market goes from this point forward, but for me, just the stall was enough that I'm going to get out. Again, you know my criteria is am I in profits? Yes. Is the market stalling? Yes. Take the profits off the table. You've heard me say that in other videos. So that's it. That's why I decided to take it off right there. I think the market does continue to push lower. But these are things I don't know. Okay? Because I don't know. Obviously, there was a large order sitting here. I wonder if that got canceled off. Actually, probably not. Yeah, see, the 976 is sitting here. Let's see what happens. Oh, shit. I want to pause it right on that block order. But it happens so fucking quickly. I want to know if this 976 gets filled. Jesus, you see the tape? You can't even get the damn tape to stop. This is really difficult to get it, so I'm like cramming the pause button to try to get it here. So bear with me. I just want to see if this 978 complete. I think it does. Yeah. Yeah, 668 of that definitely gets filled. Actually, 979 came in. So yeah. I believe that order gets filled. I'm not sure if the buyer that was sitting here, I'm not sure if their intention was, again, we're going to theory here. I know you probably like go over the fucking trades. I get it, but we're going to get into this, okay? So you had the large order sitting here. Obviously, it got filled. They may have not even had the intention of getting filled here. Who knows? I don't know. And if they didn't have the intention of getting filled here, well, that 900 that was sitting here, they're going to have to market order out. So they were blue in. Essentially, they're going to have to red out, which essentially will push the market down further. Who knows? They're probably trying to get out here for a break even. I don't know. But let's just watch the trade so you can see how quick it was without pausing it. Let's watch it from where the cancellation happened, and we'll go forward from there and just continue. Yeah, so this is where the order flow confirms that I needed to cancel it. I canceled it pretty quickly, quicker than my eyes could gather it the first go around when I was reviewing this video. I thought I was still in the trade, and then I'm like, wait, I'm not. So very good reactions there. So I'm considering to get in, but I need to see something here. Okay, now we came back down. Now, I know I said I wouldn't pause it, but the thing is, it was hovering right over this resistant area. I was wanting to know if this resistant would become a new support level, and obviously it got denied. So here we go. I know I'm not going to get the fill there, so I'm going to try to take one tick down here. I don't get the fill there, and I'm considering market ordering in, but I know it's too risky. Also, I'm in a good spot in the Q2. I'm 145 of 203. So I do have a slight edge there, but then again, it clears everything out right there. But it immediately ticks down back in my favor, and boom. There's my signal to get out, was that large size that was sitting there. No hesitation. You got to be fast. It could have easily came back up like it did the first go-around. Notice how it came back up. It came down so fast, but it came back up just as quickly. So if you watch this video again, you'll notice that. And I don't know. I don't know if that'll happen again, so that's why I decided to also take profits there, because shit like that can happen, right? Now we're continuing to push down. I just want to see what happens here. I know there's a few trades where I just miss these massive moves, but, you know, it's a very tricky area to play because this thing could reverse. I mean, obviously the selling pressure is so extreme, but it sucks when you catch an actual reversal point. So, yeah, there was definitely a few more ticks to be had in this particular trade, but I'm not going to hang out to figure it out, you know. I'm going to just take what I can and get out. Now, notice this. You got this 492, 442, 489 propping the market up. Let me rewind it just a little bit. Look at the heat map. Look at 3 levels. They're attempting to hold it up. So they're attempting to hold it up. And again, I don't know if maybe whoever is attempting to hold it up these are fake orders maybe, and they're positioning themselves in for a short. I don't know. And maybe they'll cancel all of that off. And, I mean, that's illegal. That's called spoofing. But it happens. I'll have to do a separate video on spoofing because it's kind of a good thing, because essentially it makes high-frequency trading machines not dominate the market. Again, I'll have to do another video on spoofing once I get a good one recorded. But that's not the objective of this particular video. So we have quite a bit of a struggle there. Looks like I'm going for a short. Do I get the fill? Okay, well, I'm going to have 2 break-evens. So we took the $50 trade. So let's kind of watch how this pans out. What is this break-even is at? 11:35. So what time is it on the computer? Yeah, it's 11:35. So this is going to be a break-even. So why am I taking this trade here? Well, Let me show you. Notice how you have all these market orders trading here, right? You got all these market orders trading here. We're trading below this 97 even level, which was initially support. Now it's starting, in my mind, it's starting to become resistance. So we had this push down, and then we had this push up, and we went a tick above the 97 even into the 97.25. But now we're below it, and it seems like we're staying below it. So my theory is this 97 even is going to be the new support resistance zone. And also you have a shitload of contracts just trading here. So the thing is, I'm going to get in it, and if things don't work out, I know that I could possibly get out of it relatively easy because there's just so many contracts trading here that if things aren't working out, I know the market's going to stay here, and it has enough volume trading right here that it's potentially easy to get out of. So that's also why what I'm thinking. So you just have so many market orders just flowing in there. It's going to be an easy fill, even though it's sort of pausing at this point. Bang, we just fucking bang down quickly. I get the fill. Here's what I don't like is this 835 shows up right here out of nowhere, right below my entry price. And then also you have the 752. So for me, that's just like, I don't like it anymore. I'm no longer confident. And to me, that means the buyers may be trying to boost the market up. So I'm not sure what to do at this point. As you can see, I have a limit order here. I'm 149 in the queue. So what I'm trying to do is limit out. I can't market out at this point for a break even. I have to limit out just where the market is trading. I mean, my entry was 96.75. There's no way I can market order out. Red in, blue out. So if I try to market order out, I would have to take a one-tick loss by clicking on this blue box. And you can see I'm covering that area only in case, but the ask is in my favor versus the bid. So I'm trying to cover for a one-tick loss while I'm trying to work my way out for a break even at this point because, again, I don't like this 837 and I don't like that 759. So I get out, which is good. A block order of 100 came in at that price, so that kind of helped. So let's see. Let's keep our eye on this 847 to see if this is fake. So currently there's 394 that traded into it. Wow, so quite a bit came in. 1200 came in. So maybe that all got blasted out. So my short was initially right. But I want you guys to understand why I broke even. So at this point, I'm seeing... hold on real quick. Take a quick swig of water here. So at this point, I'm seeing this aggressive, like, obscenely aggressive selling off like this. This has happened several times now. So just look how aggressive this push down is. Let's see if we can't see a shitload of market orders come in. I'm trying to pause. Oh, yeah, major block orders came in right there. It's so hard to get. Trying to playing pot. There it is, right there. Jesus, it doesn't even fucking register on the DOM. Look, you have several block orders came in, and it's not even moving on my DOM before. It's like it lags a little bit. This is why guys that trade in Chicago who are renting servers on the floor, they just have better speed. And really, you want you want to have more speed. You want to have good fucking internet, and you just want your order flow to be more speed-like. And obviously, I have some lagging that's happening here. So all these block orders come in. So at 96.75, you have 223 came in. So as you can see, there's 223 sitting here. This is a great. I did a good job pausing this. So check this out. At 96.75, there's 223 on the bid. If you look at this block order, 223 came in. So somebody immediately bought all of that up. At the next price, at 96.50, there's 852 sitting on the bid. On this block order, 852 came in. So all of that immediately got bought up. Then if you go to the next level, I know my mouse is covering it, but it says 311. If you look at the next block order, 96.25, 311. So this is called lifting the bid. And it's called lifting the offer if you go the other way. There is a hotkey on my controls that you don't see that allows me to lift bids or offers. Obviously, I don't have a big enough account to do that, nor do I have a strategy that I would know how to do that. But somebody is intentionally trying to buy all of this level or sell into all of this level, sell all into this level, and sell it all into this level. So hopefully you guys are seeing this. Hopefully this is coming out clear on your fucking computer, because this is absolutely amazing. This is one guy, or it could be a high-frequency trading machine. And essentially whoever or whatever is doing this is aggressively clearing out 3 price levels at exactly one after another as rapidly as they can. And that's their intention. I don't know what they're ultimately trying to achieve in the long run, but whatever is happening is happening. It's happened several times now. It's happened here. So remember how I told you earlier that this initial push right here that cued me off to go for the long or for the short for the first $50 I made? Remember I saw that aggressive push down? Well, I got in right before it happened again, so I guarantee if I pause the video on this first push down, we would see something similar to this. So it's happened like 3 times now. In fact, it could have happened earlier in the trading session, but it's happened 3 times now. So whoever is doing this has a shitload of money in their account. Tens of hundreds of millions of dollars, and they have some sort of plan, and they are very aggressive about shoving the market down. They're very aggressive. So I don't know if maybe this is a institutional player who has the software to be able to do this, or if it's a high-frequency trading machine. But initially, we're trading away from this 3,000, which again is a very important level. We can't seem to get above it and stay above it. So I'm looking at this as in the long term of what may be happening. So maybe ultimately, what could be happening is some large player is just intentionally trying to get in at this point, and they're ultimately short biased over a long run period. So that's could be what happening. This is all speculation. But here's a fact. Somebody wants to push the market down. So look at that, just fucking clearing that shit out. And I'm not sure if some of these large buy orders that are sitting on the bid, I mean, that's definitely somebody else. Those aren't spoof orders. So remember how I kept telling you maybe those are spoof orders? Those large orders are getting fucking filled. So essentially, 2 large traders are going at it with each other is what it's starting to look like at this point, now that I'm able to pause the video and see the tape and see the block orders come in. I know this really has nothing to do with being able to trade well, because it happens so fast. I'm just trying to get something out of the market. So, but it's interesting just to see all in all happen. So now you have this 448 This poor son of a bitch, maybe they don't realize what's going on. Maybe they're about to get ran over, or maybe the market reverses here. I can't quite remember what happens here. Let's see what happens here, and then we're going to jump into the next trade. The next trade is going to be another break even. Let's see what time it happens at. Wait, did they just get filled here? You know, 582 came in there. So, what is there, 453 sitting here? Let's see if a block order comes in. Or it could just be a steady stream of trades is what it's looking like. I'm trying to see if one of those massive block orders clear out this large size sitting at the 96 even. It looks like it's just a bunch of smaller orders broken up. So whatever did these initial shoves didn't do that. So my next break even's at 11:36. So it's about to come up right here. So let's see what happens. So I guess I'm looking for something here. Definitely short bias. You don't want to fade this kind of price action. Fuck, man. I get in at the low. Why do I get in at the low? I'm thinking this is going to get shoved down at this point. I'm not sure why I took that trade. I just need to watch what happens here. I even recall saying, man, I don't know about getting into the low here. Well, fuck, it's working out. I should have took profits. Yeah, I'm waiting way too long. Should have took profits on that. Yep. Should be taking profits here. Something. Should take at least one tick. I think since it's at the low, I'm starting to recall what happened. Since we're at the low, I'm just thinking this is going to get shoved down again because I've seen it happen. So I'm being a little more patient on this trade to sort of get a little more out of it. And then I had enough at that point. Yeah, that's what happened. All right, so let's go over that. And then the next trade is going to be $50. So let's see why I decided to get in here. I really want to remember what happened. So we have the large size sitting here. This market's obviously aggressively selling off. So that large size gets cleared out right there. And just seeing this sort of price action that happens here, and it's not even ticking back up, and then we clear out the next level. That just kind of, seeing that's exactly why I got in on the low. Seeing that, I'm like, all right, we clear out that large order, and then we tick back down, and the market's not even trying to get back up. We're at the low, so in my opinion, this thing's going to shoot down again. So I'm considering getting in here. I just want to see how it goes, how it trades around this 96 even, because that's where the large size was sitting. I want to see if we can get back above that, and then I decided to go short. I believe it's because of the market orders that came in. Let me just double check. Yeah, so let's watch the market orders here. At this 95.75, the sell market orders. Yeah, so that cranked up to 336. So you have quite a bit flowing in, and that, I mean, it's somewhat absorbing there. And then you had 476, and then I see this is 76 versus 262. So I'm like, you know, I'm going to get on this before it falls in. Now it's not looking good because the bid is pumped up and the offer is sort of fallen off. So now I'm trying to cover, and then boom, it gets cleared out right there. Still a bit of a struggle. Clear the market orders to get a fresh view on things. Now I'm covering for a break even at this point. This 318 is going to be somewhat of a challenge to get through it. And the market was stalling too, so that's sort of a good sign. Like, the market was stalling despite the let me go back and explain it so you have a visual reference. Despite this being a lot larger than the ask, the bid being larger than the ask, it's 311 versus 163. Despite seeing that, the market's stalling, so there's no market orders hardly trickling in. The buyers aren't lifting it, and that's a good sign, the way it stalls, and then it comes down. There was originally, 500 sitting here before it came down? So there's 547 here. So naturally that just sort of stops the market. And honestly, this is something I'm not really seeing right here. I'm trying to get a little more out of it. I guess the greed is sort of kicking in at this point. And so I'm willing to sit on this a little longer to get a little more out. But essentially, I should just be getting out. But then again, we're at the low of the volume profile, so I also feel like this could just shoot down from this point forward. So this is very hard to gauge exactly how to do this style of trading, because trading this sort of thing, these rapid push downs, I don't ever seem to really do that. Do this sort of trade. Just seeing this sort of price action, this is something I to be honest with you, I can't remember if I've ever really seen this sort of thing or actively traded it. So this is sort of using my speed and skills to trade something I'm not 100% familiar with. This isn't like a technique that I have in my book of tricks. This is a sort of opportunist trading. So let's see why I broke even at this point. I just didn't like it, how it was coming back up on me, really. And now you can see I'm covering for the break even at this point. It's 91. Now this, so what happened? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Should have fucking got a one-tick win out of it, or at least two. So now it's 102 versus 237. The ask is still in my favor. Now it's started to pull off. Now it's 123 versus 142. I had enough of it. Because the thing is, we did break new lows right here. So right when I got into the trade, we did break new lows. But the thing is, the trade came back on top of me. And this happens all the time. It's sort of like a false breakout. So we did break new lows. So let me rewind it here, so you can sort of see what I'm trying to get at. Oh. What the fuck did I do? All right, so you can see that I'm getting into this trade right at the lows here. Let me go back just a tick. Yeah, I'm getting in the trade right at the lows. I mean, 146 traded the price below me at 95.50. But I'm essentially getting in right at the lows. And, sometimes when you get in at the lows, it'll just keep going. But right here where this 95 even is, where this 540 is, it holds the market up. So we do break the new lows by, 2 ticks here? Yup. But the thing is, it doesn't continue to push. So seeing it not continue to push like that, that's not good. That could be sort of a false breakdown, or we could be finding a bottom. Because I know we're going to eventually find a bottom here after this massive selling off. It's going to happen. So we only get through this by 2 ticks, like these lows here, and I don't like it. It doesn't continue to just push. at this point. And then now it's coming back on top of me, and for me, it's just time to get out at this point, especially when I see the bid get bigger than the ask. But the thing is, I'm sitting in this, and I'm not taking profits, and this is my thinking at the time, is it could be stalling here. This could be somewhat of a stall point. I do have a good position. I do have a good position right now, or I had a good position where it was stalling. But the thing is, if we broke this 95, I mean, there would be a high probability that would just continue down a few more ticks. And that's where essentially I would be looking to take profits. And this is my thinking at the time. And now it just doesn't seem like it's working. Could this be a possible bottom? So I just get out. I've lost confidence in the trade, basically, is what's happened here. So now, I mean, we had the massive push there. I think our fucking big block trader came in. Let's see if that's what happened. So I'm out of the trade here. It's hard to say. These aren't block orders. Changes colors when you're hitting a new low. Let me go back. See if I can't catch it. I just want to see if the big block guy is hitting it. Looks like I saw some block orders there. Ah, man, this is very frustrating. It's going to happen right here. Could happen so fast. Just bear with me while I try to see if our... it happens so quickly. My goodness. See if I don't even have the speed to be able to pause. Yeah, I can't get it. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, yeah, look, nobody prints back right here. So I mean, I was initially right, but I just wasn't liking it. Let's continue forward because I want to see the $50 trade. What am I considering to get in? Somewhere around here is going to be $50 trade. Yep, so I get the fill here. Sort of struggling here. I'm considering getting out. There we go. Now we had another small little push. I threw out a random target front running this 456, which, I mean, I don't get it. I decided to just get out there. Now look at here. So look how thin the volume profile is. So it's very thin, and then we stall here at the 94.75. Quite a few contracts trade in there, like 1,551, and then we have another push. So that's the second leg down. Let me break down this entry. Let me break down the entry here. All right. This is a long one. I didn't expect it to be this long, but you guys like it. So let me see. Why did I choose that entry? Because we had that initial shove that I missed. I ended up breaking even and not getting on that shove. Yeah, look at that shit. So right here at this 95 even, remember there was that 500 sitting here. You look on the heat map. There was definitely size there. It did initially act as sort of support. You can see how we came into it and we bounced off of it, and I broke even somewhere right around here. So I believe, do I get in right at the 95 or do I get in below it? So I noticed this, that no buy orders came in right here. I saw the way my mouse kind of scrolled. I mean, it's definitely definitely the sellers are still in control at this point. I mean, look at it. It's 338 versus 194, 421 versus nothing, 667 versus 772, and we're having somewhat of a stall here. Where do I get in? Okay, yeah, and then we push down right here. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm choosing my entry based off of this initial support zone, which is now becoming the resistance zone. You can see a pattern here. I mean, I did the same sort of trade earlier where the support became the new resistant. So that's exactly what I'm doing is I'm sort of front running or getting right below the resistant zone. And we're at new lows again. And to me, it just, the sellers are so much in control at this point. It makes sense to get in near the low because look at these market orders. You barely have buyers. Buyers are barely throwing out market orders versus the sellers. The sellers' market orders are substantially larger than the buy market orders. I mean, obviously, we're stalling here, and we have a stall point where buyers put out quite a bit of size, but for me, that's opportunity to get the fill, which I get the fill, and then this cranks up. So it immediately fills me, and then this immediately starts cranking up to 245, and then you have 112 right here. So watch the entry again. So there's no way I'm getting the fill here. I mean, it's 299 at the 95 even. So I attempt to get in here, and just seeing large market orders in here shows me that this price has liquidity here to get a fill, to wait in the queue. So the buyers immediately flick it up, but the sellers immediately send it back down. And then this starts to crank up. Sellers clear this price out, this 94.50. Buyers try to push it back up with 45, but it's still, I mean, the selling pressure is on again. So I did a good job getting in there. I don't think there would be opportunity to get in there again. Yeah, no, see how there's no more opportunity to get in at that price. That's why speed is very important. So we're sort of stalling here. There we go. Got another little push there. Now it's starting to come up. And just putting target out here is just sort of a crapshoot. There's no... I mean, I saw the 456. I was hoping maybe there'd be another fast shove. But at the same time, I just want to get out. I just want to take what I can. Again, are you in profits? Yes. Is the market stalling? Yes. Take the fucking money off the table. You're going to hear me say that in a lot of videos, and that was $50, so I'm up $100 at this point. When does this break even happen? 11:44. So we have to go quite a bit of ways in the future to see that break even. I'm not going to cover that break even. You've already seen plenty of them. Let's go ahead and go to... I believe there's a really good missed opportunity I want to show you guys. Let's fast forward. Yeah. So right here it starts coming back up. Where did I take profits at? Let's see where I took profits at. Was that a reversal? Where did I take profits at? Give me just a moment here, folks. Okay, yeah. So I take profits at what? 93. I think I take profits here. Yeah, there's so much of a struggle there. I'm like, I'm just going to get in the queue. So I take profits at 93.75. Let's remember that. Where's the market bounce off at? Yeah, because the market just starts reversing at this point. Dude, I actually fucking took profits right at the fucking bottom. So, you know, a lot of people dream of going short at tops and taking profits at bottoms. That's just like, that shit doesn't, sometimes that happens, but it's like you can't nail that every time. You don't know. It could have easily kept going, but I kind of lucked out, and out of the 580 orders that came in right here, I was one of them, and I managed to take profits right at the fucking bottom. So, again, are you in profits? Yes. Is the market stalling? Yes. Take the profits off the table. That's what I did, and I nailed it right at the right point. Otherwise, I would have never got anything out of it, and I may have broken even. So that could have turned into a break even, but it turned out to be a $50 win. Because at this point forward, I mean, let me fast forward. Look, it just keeps ripping up at this point. So, I mean, here's the deal. Let me explain something to you guys. I think it's at this level. Okay, so we had this obscenely large selling pressure, right? And the market just seemed to turn on a dime and is going straight up, okay? Remember at the beginning of the video, I told you I'm going to show you one trade that yielded me $125 from yesterday. This same sort of thing kind of happens on that particular trade, and that's why I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to show you right here a missed opportunity. I considered taking it, but I didn't take it. But I want to show you this particular trade setup that I missed. So usually when you have just this obscene amount of selling off, the market doesn't just reverse and go up. Yes, it did, but it's going to eventually lose momentum, and it's going to eventually come back down here. And when the market truly starts to turn off intense selling pressure, most of the time it doesn't turn on a dime like it did down here at the 93.75. It doesn't just turn and reverse after this obscene amount of selling. What it does is it bounces, and then it's going to come back down, and it's going to kind of stay near the lows, and then it's going to slowly trade, and then it'll slowly start to reverse up. Or it may just stay down here and start to form a new fair market value area where short-term traders just start to trade back and forth, and then you'll see a point of control form. So that's what may happen. It could either stay down here and get stuck, or it could come down here, trade for a little bit, and slowly trade and slowly start to rotate and then start to push up. You're never going to see this turning on a dime, go up and then come back and go up and just keep going up forever. That doesn't usually happen. So here's a good opportunity. So obviously we did turn on a dime and we're shooting up, okay? But up here, initially there was a lot of size sitting at this point, at this 97 even. Remember that I believe I did take some trades around this level. So this was initially acting as support. As you can see, the price bounced off of it once, came back down, bounced off of it twice, and then, yeah, that's exactly what happened. That our big block buyer, our big block seller came in right here, did the shove, then we came back up, because essentially it did somewhat hold. And this is where I got in for the first $50 trade. The big block buyer came in, shoved the market down through it, and then we try to come back up and trade up through it again. So this support starts to become the resistance. Yes, we go through it by one tick, but we initially come back down. Now this level starts to hold. You can see we're bouncing off of it right where I mark where the R is, and then we continue down. So noticing how the price traded around this 97 level, this can be a clue to go for a short at this point. And also, this is a new strategy I've dubbed the juke and nuke. The market will go down, it'll juke back, and then it'll sell off again. And usually when you have a move like this, you're going to see it in that other video from yesterday. The market will sell off, and if you have this pivot, notice right here where all this volume traded, where the market sort of stalled out after the initial sell-off. Usually you'll see the market come down and it'll come back and it'll stop halfway at the initial move. So from up here, from this high up here to this low down here, we're about at the halfway mark where this initial high is and this initial low is. So we're at the halfway mark, and usually I'll see moves turn at this halfway point. And when you see the video where I make $125, what I'm trying to explain will make a little more sense because you're going to see it in a different trade that's sort of the same setup. So you see this high, you see this low, we're at the halfway point, we've turned, and now we're at the halfway point. And also there's a resistance zone here. This is definitely going to be resistance. So this would be a good short opportunity. I don't take it, unfortunately, but I just want to show it to you guys. I really considered taking it, but I didn't. I don't take all these money moves, unfortunately. I mean, the goal in my trading is to, you can see, again, the goal of my trading is to be able to take opportunities like this every time they come up, but I do miss opportunities quite often, and when you're trading, you're going to miss a lot of good opportunities, and through practice and repetition, you'll eventually start to exploit those opportunities more and more. That's why some of the trades you see, they happen so quickly that if I don't take them, I don't get that opportunity again. You see that happen in my videos all the time. I haven't always traded like that. I develop the skill over time, and I notice it, and I know I have to react fast. I hesitated a little too long on this particular trade. What was I trying to point out? Something here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. So notice my mouse here. I'm not sure what to do at this point. I don't know if this is going to continue to go up. I know there's a potential move here for a short. But obviously buyers are in control at this point. What I think initially is happening is there's just a bunch of profit taking at this point after these two initial pushes. Because again, if you look up here, if you watch the beginning of the video, we do have this initial push. And then we have this push again. So this could be profit taking at this point. That's why the market is just turned on a dime, is going straight up. This isn't necessarily buyers being in control. This is probably just profit taking at this point. So notice that my mouse came over here, and what happened? It happened so quickly. I have this yellow line, this crosshair that comes off my mouse. You'll see I was measuring this level, and I noticed we're trading at it. So I'm considering getting in here. You can see the mouse is moving. Now we're starting to trade above it, so I kind of don't have the confidence in this zone holding. But now we're starting to tick down a little bit. We come up, so the market gets shoved up and shoved down. But it's still, to me, it looks like there's still buying pressure at this point because we did push up and this 152 came in. But again, we do have this 300 sitting here. I mean, big whoop. It's just 300, but it's still decent size. So I'm considering getting in here. I'm not sure what to do at this point. The market's stalling. The market's stalling at this point. Now it looks like it's starting to fall in. So it looks like this 97 is sort of valid. So I'm considering going for a short, clear out the market orders, and I'm still considering going for a short, but it's too late at this point, really, I believe, if I recall right. The market stalls here, so I'm not quite sure because it could stall here and then go back up. So I really don't, and that's exactly what it does. It goes up, and I'm not sure what to do at this point. So I'm very confused. Now it's ticking back down, and then that was the missed opportunity right there. The market gets shoved down, and a bunch of block orders shoved it down again. So just the way the order flow was very contradicting with itself. The order flow just didn't really give me the clue that this might be it, but it definitely worked out. Again, it rotated at the halfway point of this initial move. Let's see if the big block orders come in here. It goes slower, so I'm more confident in pausing it at this point. Yeah, so what happened, you can see this 96 even. You can see this 96 even. Um Hold on real quick. Okay, so you can see at this 96 even right here, 282 came in on the block order, and then at the 96.25, you had 188 block orders come in. So right here, 188 cleared out 288. Let's see if that's what was sitting there initially. No, not at all. But it definitely the big block order comes in. It doesn't clear everything out here unless some orders cancel off. I just think it's quite interesting to see. Yeah, 282. Yep. So this entire order gets cleared out by the 282 on the block order, and above it 188 clears out. But a few more additional market orders come in on that 188. So let's see how far this goes down. Yeah, this continues to drop in a little bit. Yeah, it continues to drop again. Again, like I said, just because it pivots here doesn't mean that's it. That's the low. Like I said, this is probably profit taking. And again, this is a good move because it essentially rotates at this pivot zone, at this resistance zone. It pivots at this resistance zone, I should say. And obviously the price trades around right here, and that's what confused me. I definitely wanted to get in on it. I just didn't take it. I really wanted to get in on it. I didn't take it. It would have been a good move, probably for another $50, because I would have probably got out at this stall point here. But I just wanted to show that to you, that just because it pivots here, this doesn't mean that's the low after a very heavy sell-off there. So look at this massive spike up. Let's see where the $25 trade is. 1156. So we have to go quite a bit forward at this point. See, and this is exactly what I was explaining to you. You know, we hit this low. It's never going to just shoot back up after that kind of selling pressure. It's going to get stuck here. So 1156. What is this trade? Oh, that's the exit. So I get in at 1154. My bad. Yeah, this is the trade actually. Okay, but before we go over the trade, this is the $25 trade. Before we go over this, again, look at that. All the selling pressure. We had that move up here, and then we come back down, and then we have this. Again, it sort of pivots at the halfway point of this particular move. And then we come back down. We test new lows, which I wasn't even confident in. I didn't even attempt to take a shot at this point. Because I knew this could possibly happen. And again, we're going to be trading quite a bit down here. You can see I marked some levels on the DOM. But yeah, you can see that we trade quite a bit here. So this is potentially the reversal zone, or it's going to get stuck here and start to build up a fair market value area. But you're never going to have just a point blank reversal like this. It'll come back more than likely, and then it'll slowly start to reverse near this low. So let's see, why did I take this trade here? It's a long trade too. So at this point, there's so much back and forth that I'm no longer just short biased. Why did I take this trade? Let me go back a little more. I need to confirm what's going on the order flow. I just need to see what's happening here. Huh. So this is where I'm considering taking a trade. I think it has to do with this low volume node and this lower volume node here. Also, we keep testing where this size was sitting at 95.75. We keep testing it. Yeah, and also, yeah, that's exactly what it is. So the same thing that you seen right here, where you have this push down, it reverses, and then we pivot at this halfway zone. That's sort of happening here, and I'll see this on a reversals after heavy sell-off. So we traded down here, right? We come up, and then we reverse. And where does it reverse? It reverses at the halfway point of this initial push. So at this point, seeing that, I'm like, there's a high probability that, you know, what happened here is happening here on a smaller scale. So that's why I take a shot for the long, because if we can break this level, it'll potentially not come back. Yeah, so I look to get in right here at this point to try to give myself a slight ideal entry before it goes. I don't think I get the fill on that. Yeah, there's no way in hell. I mean, it's 331. I'm 228 in the queue. So I attempt to go for this 950. And also, what kind of keys me off is, look, we take one tick above where the price was being held down. So we're trading into this 95.75, which originally we weren't trading into it. It was sort of acting as resistant, as you can see. Like, it was holding the market down back here. It held the market down right here, and now we're trading into it. So this sort of confirms that this is going to go up, and also this sort of move, the juke and nuke is happening. It's setting up again. So we go up, we juke back, and ideally it should just continue up from this point. So that's exactly why I'm taking this entry here. Oh, and it looks like I pay up. I don't even attempt to get the fill there. So it looks like I decided to just market order in at this point. Yeah, look at the order flow. There's no way I would have got that fill at 255 either. That's exact, and I knew it. I guess something was happening in the order flow to confirm that I wouldn't get that. So I pay up. I think it goes against me a little bit here. I know that it's going to struggle here. And it's taking forever, and then it just falls in on me, that's not a good sign at all. That's really not a good sign. So, I mean, the bid and the ask are about the same. So I'm not too terribly concerned yet. The market could be just holding itself at this point. And it looks like it is somewhat holding itself at this point. And again, we have this somewhat low volume node here that we're somewhat staying above. It's not going to hold forever, but it could hold enough for me to possibly get something out of it. Yeah, there we go. That ticking up is a good sign. Even though it's 300 versus 121, I'm still somewhat confident in the trade. Sellers aren't even taking this. Boom, we clear out it with 235. And it falls back in on me at this point. It's like, I don't know about this. I'm just not feeling it. I'm expecting it to just go, and it's not going. It's really struggling at this point. So now I'm considering market ordering out here for a one-tick win. The bid's still in my favor versus the ask. Clear it out to get a fresh view. Now it's not in my favor. The ask is larger than the bid. But notice this. I got 325, 381, and 354 sort of all clumped together here, kind of propping the market up. So at this point, the market's been struggling so much that I'm concerned. So I'm covering for a 2-tick win here, and the market's just struggling so horribly at these price levels for so long that I'm losing my confidence in the trade. Yeah, that's where I get out. I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to throw it away. Why did I throw it away there? Why did I decide to market order out? Well, the bid is bigger, the ask is bigger than the bid now. I mean, it's been happening like that, but the market orders that come in right here, that sort of keys me off. So I saw 104 print there, so I immediately tag out. And then this is exactly why I cover my trades, so I can react a little quicker at that point. That's exactly why. I saw all that size just push into it. I had enough of it. So 51, not good. 89, 104, get out. That was my thinking. And check this out. I believe it falls in from this point forward. What is it? Stalled out at 96.50? Yeah. See, check it out. 96.50. So my intuition was right. That 6 cents was right, and the market just falls back in at this point. So, I mean, yeah, this move did work, but initially this nuke and juke, but initially you'd want to have gotten in here. If you would have got in somewhere around here, it would have been a seamless up move. Could have got $50, $62.50 out of it. I got in a little late, and then I got out right before it rolled on me. What does it look like from this point forward? Because I stopped trading. Yeah, look at it, just getting wacky here. So that's that. So that's what it looks like in the P&L. Again, like a 37% win rate or something like that, but you can still make money on things like that. So I want to show you the juke and nuke again. So check this out. Again, this is from yesterday. This is from yesterday, so we have just like the setup seen today. You have the push, the stall, the push, and we break lows here. We hit, we don't break all-time lows, but we go lower than we were originally trading, and I want to see that. I kind of want to see that on these bigger moves like this. So we do hit lower lows to where it was trading. It was initially being held up here at 96 even. So I get in on this. I decided to get in on this trade here. This is yesterday. And again, look, we've sort of pivoting at the halfway mark between this high and this low. We're somewhat at the halfway mark. This particular one sets up a little bit differently than the one I showed you earlier. I get in like I kind of get in a little too early, but I don't know that. But I'm confident in it, and I hold it. Quite a bit of struggle there, and I mean it's going against me 2 ticks, but I do have this size that keeps holding the market down here. This 295, it's not even pulling off. Buyers aren't even hitting into it, so that's a good sign. I mean, look at nobody's hitting into it, so that's a good sign, and it's just holding firm there. It's holding. I mean, it's sort of going away. It's no longer 3. Now it's 300 again. Now it's like 355, 381, 350. All these large sizes are backing it up. Again, and it's trading quite a bit around here because we're near this odd point of control level here, so quite a bit of volume is going to want to trade here. Now it's starting to push against me. Now it's starting to get in there. But the ask, again, is still larger than the bid. This one does play out quite a bit. Falls in quite aggressively there. We just need to start trading below my entry for it to be a good trade. And we're just struggling to get through that. Again, we have high volume nodes here, so naturally it's going to do what it's doing here. Just should have got in on the entry a little bit better. And this shows you that the volume profile definitely affects the way these moves set up. Again, from this high to this low, we're at the halfway point. It's getting ready to go. This one does take a little bit of time to play out. Give it just a moment here. Still have that 367. That's still looking good there. Again, high volume nodes. I'm not sure when this thing's going to blow downward. When the damn price just nukes and goes down. There we go. Now we just need it to stay here. Now this ask is pumped up in my favor versus the bid. So at this point, it could be considering giving out. There we go. There we go. There we go. I believe we're hitting stop orders too because I'm not seeing blocks come in. Let me double check it on the tape. Oops. It's about to go here. Let's just see the tape if I see any blocks come in. If we don't see blocks come in, then we're definitely hitting stops as it starts to like just move quickly. Yeah, I'm not seeing any blocks. Hold on. This isn't where it moves quickly though. Right here, and it starts to tumble. Yeah, we're just hitting stop orders at this point. So, and then we stall here. So usually when you have a move, you're going to have the initial leg, a slight stall, and then there should be a second leg. And look, now we've broke that low. We broke that low. I'm holding this thing because I know it could possibly continue down. Still just shoving the market. So this is an example of the juke and nuke in action right here. And then I decide to get profits, and then I take another tick up because it wasn't looking so good, and that was a $125 trade right there. Compared to today where I really fought for it. So, I mean, that was a $125 trade. That's is that the biggest one I have on my channel? Because I think the previous large one was $112.50, so that could have been the big one. But again, just the setup is what I want to show you. This high, this low, and then we come back up. And again, this low needs to break other lows. And then we're stalling at the halfway mark, and usually it'll push past this low and make another lower low. So I believe if you're a technical analysis guy, and I'll just let this play. If you're a technical analysis guy and you draw channels, this would be a perfect example of how channels work. I don't do that. I don't draw on charts usually, so but generally, I mean, you could draw a channel line on this. You know, you could take this low here and draw a line in this lower low, and then you could draw a line from this high to this lower high, and it would essentially make a channel. And we'll just let this melt down. Because at this point, I do know that we're going to break this low. I know we're going to break this low. That's why my mouse is all the way down here, not covering anything. And then we stall because obviously this is a support zone. We had a lot of size sitting here. So I'm looking to take boom, and then do we have that push down? It looked like some size came in right here to shove the market down. And then I'm looking to take profits here because it's starting to stall on this. It's starting to stall here, and it's stalled too many times that I think it's time to take what I can get out of it. And then the 125. So again, if you drew a channel line, it would cut it off right here. I mean, channel lines aren't perfect. You're just drawing lines, and it's not based off anything really. I mean, it's order flow. Essentially, it's a battlefield, and I mean, buyers versus sellers. It's order flow. It's who's going to win. You know, it's a fight, and really drawing imaginary lines on a chart aren't going to determine pivot points necessarily. That's why they'll pivot above the channel line or go below it sometimes, or sometimes it'll tag it right on the nose. But that's why they don't always work out. It's a fucking battle. So where does this go from this point forward? I think it continues up. Yeah. So look, it stalls there and it continues up. So I kind of get out right near the low. So this is a very long video. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Very interesting price action. Obviously, it was a struggle for me to make the 125 today versus yesterday off one trade. But that's just part of the game. That's part of scalping. And took no losers today, which is awesome. Those are always that really feeds the ego when things like that happen. But anyways, I'm going to cut this off. Have a good one.